Scientists at the site of supervolcano Yellowstone have warned that there is a chance the volcano could erupt this volcano season, which would end up killing millions of people worldwide, and devastating the planet. The scientists have warned that instances of volcanic eruptions are their highest for 300 years at the moment, and there is a 10% chance of Yellowstone erupting this year. Experts at the European Science Foundation have pointed out that supervolcanoes like the one at Yellowstone National Park pose a much greater threat to Earth and humans than asteroids, earthquakes, global warming, and even a nuclear or hydrogen bomb. There are few real contingency plans in place to deal with the ticking time bomb, which they conclude is likely to go off within the next 80 years. The world's most dangerous active volcanoes include Yellowstone, Mount Vesuvius in Campania, Italy, and Popocatépetl near Mexico City. If any of them or other massive volcanic peaks suffered a major eruption, the team said millions of people would die and Earth's atmosphere would be poisoned with ash and other toxins beyond the imagination of anything man's activity and global warming could do over 1,000 years. The chance of such an eruption happening at one of the major volcanoes within 80 years is put at 5 to 10% by the experts. There are already fears that Yellowstone could blow any time within the next 70 years on a scale that would wipe out the western USA and affect the course of global history. The report, Extreme Geohazards, Reducing the Disaster Risk and Increasing Resilience, warns global governments' preparations for such happenings are virtually non-existent. It said, although in the last few decades earthquakes have been the main cause of fatalities and damage, the main global risk is large volcanic eruptions that are less frequent but far more impactful than the largest earthquakes. Due to their far-reaching effects on climate, food security, transportation, and supply chains, these events have the potential to trigger global disaster and catastrophe. The cost of response and the ability to respond to these events is beyond the financial and political capabilities of any individual country. The report looked at other major geohazards facing the globe, including earthquakes, drought, asteroids, floods, tsunamis, hurricanes, avalanches and wildfires. Large earthquakes and tsunamis have happened more in the last 2,000 years, meaning there was better preparedness. The report concluded, volcanic eruptions can have more severe impacts through atmospheric and climate effects and can lead to drastic problems in food and water security, as emphasized by the widespread famine and diseases that were rampant after the Lucky 1783 and Tambora 1815 eruptions. Hence, extreme volcanic eruptions pose a higher associated risk than all other natural hazards with similar recurrence periods, including asteroid impacts. The eruption of Tambora on Sumbawa, Indonesia killed about 100,000 people, but ash clouds meant there was no summer the following year, and it was one of the most important climatic and socially repercussive events of the last millennium, the report said. The earlier Icelandic event killed close to 10,000 instantly, but the long-term effects wiped out 25% of the population and were felt across the planet. A famine in Egypt reduced the population by 1/6, 25,000 died in the UK from breathing problems, and there was worldwide extreme weather. Similar scale events today would be much more catastrophic, the team warned, due to much bigger populations, global travel and food chains and reliance on technology. Worryingly, scientists say research over the last 300 years of volcanic activity shows we are currently in a volcano season, meaning increased activity. Volcanoes are also more likely from November to April in the northern hemisphere, when ice, rain and snowfall can compress the bedrock.